Oh, shoot. I should have played the breaking news intro. Hold on. Media assets. Where is the breaking news? Yes, this. Okay, and it is me and my dog. You can tell by the dog hair. So here's what's going on. I'm sorry, I'm just a little stunned. I am fresh off John Crump News, John Crump Live, Alabama in the House, Live Live. Thank you. I thought the only news today would be that Elizabeth McDonough, and hold on, let me bring this up, and boom, add to stage. I thought the only news that I would be talking about today was going to be Elizabeth McDonough, the parliamentarian. She is a Democrat, and she says the HPA Short Act that are included in the big, beautiful bill are not legit as far as being a tax. Now, that's a problem because the Supreme Court case of Sonzinski versus the United States determined the national firearms is an exercise of Congress's power to tax. So when you decide that something is a tax, especially if the Supreme Court says so, not like I always agree with them, but in this case I will, it's a tax. If it quacks like a duck, walks like a duck, it's a duck. But wah, wah, wah. Oh, and hey, let me add banner, boop. Yeah. So this number is important. Of course, my prop, my Gallagher style prop or Carrot Top style prop, call this number and tell John Thune. You can ask for John Thune. I got John Thune's number also somewhere else. Call that number, ask for John Thune, tell him that Elizabeth McDonough, this lady right here, Elizabeth McDonough, the parliamentarian, is wrong, and that the Supreme Court in the Sonzinski versus the United States in 1937 decided that the NFA is a tax. And tell them you want the Hearing Protection Act, Short Act, all that back in the big, beautiful bill. Call your senators, call John Thune. Now, you can dial that number right here and say, hi, I want to talk to John Thune. Talk to John Thune's office, hang up, call back, say, hi, this is my zip code. I want to talk to my senior senator. Tell them you want the Short Act back in, you want the HPA back in, and that the Supreme Court in 1937 in Sonzinski versus United States determined that the NFA is a tax. I'm posting the comment. Whatever that said. All right. So what happened after midnight last night is Elizabeth McDonough, the Democrat appointed during the Obama administration, is the Senate parliamentarian. And Crump has said she's made pretty decent decisions. But she decided that the HPA and Short Act were not a tax and therefore couldn't be determined by reconciliation. Reconciliation means you don't need a supermajority, 60+%. You only need 51% or above 50% to get your way. And that's why Congress critters, both the Senate and the House, determine things with reconciliation. Now, reconciliation was used to pass what is the stupid Obamacare? Yes, Obamacare. Reconciliation was used to pass Obamacare because they called it a tax. And of course, John Roberts should get kicked in several places over the Supreme Court decisions related to Obamacare, but that's neither here nor there at the moment. And Johnny Three Bar, John Thune's phone number. Thank you for dropping that in. And the Capitol switchboard. You can actually, so John Thune has a phone number. Oh my gosh, I love John Thune's website. Makes you all pay. Oh my gosh, there he is with a shotgun. There he is talking to a group of old people. There he is in the heartland. Oh, and there he is shaking hands with community guy Bob. He's at the factories. What a good guy John Thune is. Oh, America's beautiful. Look at that. And there's John Thune talking like every man. Yes. He bleeds red, white, and blue. But he did say, the Senate parliamentarian says something. I'm going to go with what she says. Now, how would you contact John Thune? Actually, I'm just going to crank back over to here because John Thune's phone number in Sioux Falls office is right here. That's right. You can phone John Thune at this office also and say, hey, don't listen to the parliamentarian. Tax schmacks. It's a tax. Supreme Court said so. Supreme Court said it was a tax in 1937. Do not listen to the parliamentarian. So call John Thune either at that 605 phone number, or you could call the Senate switchboard and ask to talk to John Thune. We need to blow his frickin' phone up. Meaning metaphorically, not in any other way. And who knows what thumbnail I used and who knows what background I'm using right now. Let me know. Let me know in the chat if you know. So we are, and also JD Vance is the president of the Senate. So you can call JD Vance. How do you call JD Vance? I know his number is over here. Dog, what? What? Are you unhappy about that? Contact Vice President JD Vance. Boop, right here. And I'm going to drop it in the chat. So if you guys just want to copy and paste, it's there. So I've got 3 numbers to dial. JD Vance's number, John Thune's home office number, that 605 number, and don't do the stupid balloons. And the number shown right below here. Dang old Matt, what's up? Well, welcome to Friday. And in case you didn't feel the kick in the nuts at midnight last night, you were kicked in the nuts. So the Senate parliamentarian, Elizabeth McDonough, an Obama appointee, determined that what the Supreme Court said it is a tax in 1937 in Sosinski versus United States is not a tax, and therefore the NFA and HPA, the HPA in Short Act cannot be changed under reconciliation, where, of course, Obamacare was put through under reconciliation. And this is a dog. Say hello to the camera, dog. And the dog is on my lap wanting attention. So it is incumbent upon all of you, if you want freedom for your suppressors and your SBRs and SBSs, to call your Senate rep now. You say, hi, my name is Rich. I'm in this zip code. I want to talk to my senior senator. Tell them that Elizabeth McDonough is wrong because the Supreme Court said so in 1937 in the Sosinski versus United States, that the NFA is a tax and that John Thune, this guy, should ignore the parliamentarian. Now, the parliamentarian isn't advised in consent like the Senate when the Senate approves a treaty or a nomination by the president. The parliamentarian is advised only, and you can say, yeah, stick it somewhere else. But don't forget, call JD Vance. So your mission, if you choose to accept it as a gun tuber or not a gun tuber, is to contact the president of the Senate, JD Vance. Tell him, ignore the parliamentarian. The Supreme Court decided in 1937 that the National Firearms Act is a tax, And it should be put back into the big, beautiful bill, not the National Firearms Act, but the HPA and the Short Act, should be put back into the big, beautiful bill, whether the dog falls off your lap or not. And that you need to call John Thune, JD Vance, and your 2 Congress critters. So four phone calls, if I can count correctly. And you can get them all by this number right here. You can say, hi, I want to speak to JD Vance. Hi, I want to speak to John Thune. Hi, my zip code is this. I want to speak to my senior senator. Hi, my zip code is this. I want to speak to my junior senator. Make that phone ring. It is free. Be nice. Be kind. Don't be a jerk. So, deep breath, everybody. I'm a little in shock, and everybody likes to call me, a Trump sycophant, whatever. I am not full blown MAGA. I do approve generally of what Trump does. I have disagreements on things, and when he does something wrong, I call him out on it. Crump and other people seem to think I am just like MAGA and doing the human centipede, and that's not the case. So the other news that we just broke earlier today is nationwide injunctions by other than the Supreme Court by lower courts are not legal. So that kind of pulls the thread on a sweater. It's a mess. I think it's the right decision, but it is one hell of a mess to get straightened out. I don't know what's legal or what's not legal anymore. And if I don't know, how would the average dog know? Nobody knows. So that's kind of crazy. All right. So what I want you guys to know and do, put a 1 in the chat if you're making a call. Put a 1 in the chat if you're going to make the call, all 4 calls. Call this number. Ask to talk to your senior senator, ask to talk to your junior senator, ask to talk to JD Vance, ask to talk to John Thune's office. Put a 1 in the chat if you're going to make the call, because this is cray-cray. There's a lot of good YouTubers out there, a lot of people that I respect. Johnny 3-Bar has the right answer. It is 1, 1, 1, 1, period. Amen, brother. Amen. I send polite emails because I can't deal with people on the phone. All right. All in. Fat Gray Man, thank you, gentlemen. You need to do this. And I'm like, please don't walk away and say, yeah, other people will do it. Do it now. Do it now. If you're like me, shiny objects happen and distract you, and you forget, and you're going to move on. In this once in a lifetime, once in 90 freaking years chance to get suppressors off. McConnell won't answer. Yeah, who cares? McConnell's brain dead anyhow. McConnell will never answer. What are you talking about? He's brain dead. Call this number. Ask to talk to JD Vance, his office. Or ask to talk to John Thune. Ask to talk to your senior senator, your junior senator, and they'll tell you, like, hey, what's your zip code? I'll hook you up to them. Call the switchboard. Make that number ring. Make that number ring off the effing hook, that they know we are watching and that we have the power. Guys, we are so close to getting this ball across the line into the end zone and doing the victory dance. Literally, we are a week away. Trump wanted this bill done by the 4th of July. Call. I implore you, if you're going to do anything, before you take your next breath. Thank you, Johnny 3-Bar. Oh my gosh, Johnny 3-Bar is amazing. Let me click on that. All right. And can I show it? Yes. Contact President JD Vance at 202-224. John Thune at 202-224-2231. And call your rep at the switchboard. And I'm saying the numbers all wrong. I can't read for crap. It's, let's see. And Mitten State Media is in. He's calling everyone. Thank you, guys. Please call, because first slide over here, Supreme Court decided that the NFA is a tax. A tax is a tax is a tax is a tax. Elizabeth McDonough says, nah, Hearing Protection Act, SBS, it's can't be done in reconciliation because it's not a tax. Wrong. Wrong, lady. You're wrong. This is so wrong. And we need to call John Thune. And we need to call J.D. Vance. He's president of the Senate. Make these phones ring. Call your senator, your senior senator, your junior senator, J.D. Vance and John Thune. Let them know that, one, NFA is a tax. Two, the Hearing Protection Act and the Short Act need to be passed and included in the big, beautiful bill. Be nice, be kind, be polite, be direct. Don't piss the people off that answer the phone, because they're the ones, all they're going to do is they're keeping a scorecard and passing that scorecard on. I didn't do the Heil Hitler. That's my left hand. See, my wedding ring. See that? That's the other hand. Call all of these swamp creatures and let them know you are not happy because the Supreme Court, here it is, I got it right here. The Supreme Court decided it's a tax. Not like it's a cookbook, it's a tax. It's a tax, it's a tax, it's a tax. Elizabeth McDonough, the Democrat or demon rat parliamentarian, said no, since it's not a tax, it can't be in a reconciliation bill. And John Thune says, well, I'm going to do whatever the parliamentarian says because I have no spine. But call him. Call that Senate critter. He's the head of the Senate. And the ultimate head of the Senate is J.D. Vance because he is, quote unquote, the president of the Senate. So all of these numbers below that Johnny Threebar generously typed into the chat. Thank you, Johnny Threebar. Oh, I thought my dog was whining. It's people doing construction at the house here. I don't know if you hear that. Let's see. What does FGM say? She doesn't mean it. It can't be done. She means they all want to do this. 2 wings. Oh, dude, I'm like so hoping I didn't get Lucy in the football, like in the Peanuts with Charlie Brown and Lucy in the football. Please tell me how to get Lucy in the football. Please tell me, because I am so pissed at rhinos at large everywhere. I'm ready to go rhino hunting in Africa. I am so pissed at the frickin' rhinos because they do this all the time. Well, if you reelect us, maybe we'll do the Hearing Protection Act. If you reelect us, maybe we'll do concealed carry reciprocity. How about you do it now and give us a reason to reelect you? You have the power. This is what I am telling you. You have the power. Call. All right, go, dog. Go somewhere. Jump off my lap. You have the power. Call these numbers down below. Tell them, 1, that the Hearing Protection Act and Short Act need to be included in the big, beautiful bill. 2, the Supreme Court, in the 1937 case of Sonzinski versus the United States, determined that the National Firearms Act is a valid tax and in the congressional taxing power. And that Elizabeth McDonough is wrong. It's a tax. And the dog is scratching me. What do you want, dog? Leave me alone. Call John Thune in the Senate. Tell him that you need to realize the Supreme Court has already determined that the NFA is a tax and therefore can be altered under reconciliation. And call J.D. Vance. With that, guys, I am going to sign off because the dog is bugging the crap out of me. Stop. She's scratching me. Guys, please make these phone calls. It is vitally important if you expect to get any change. This is a once in 90-year chance that we have had to make a difference on the Hearing Protection Act and the Short Act. Please make this happen. This way we can go to an FFL, grab a suppressor, and take it home with us that day, depending on your state, if you have a concealed carry permit, and if all your rights haven't been signed away by swamp monsters. Make it so.